So these are the same things. We wanted to be able to draw our pictures for these. So I'm going to have to draw my 5 x's here. And I have my 1, 1. I have 3 x's on this side, plus 1, 1. Okay, so this is kind of a strange looking balance, because if I take off that x and that x, it says here that 5 x's equals 3 x's. I don't think that's possible, or is it? How is that possible? Okay, so let's see what happens when I solve this algebraically. So 5x plus 1 equals 3x plus 1. This very suspicious balance here. So I'm going to do minus 1, minus 1. I'm going to do minus 3x minus 3x. Okay, so what do I end up with? Well, there's 0 pair here, 0 pair here, 0 pair here. So I end up with 2x equals 0. If I divide by 2, I end up with, x equals 0. Well, that would work. 5 zeros would equal 3 zeros. So yeah, that seems to work. Okay. So what about this one here? I'm going to move my, well, let's start with drawing our balance. So there's going to be my negative 2 x's, positive 5 1's. I'm going to have positive 2 x's and a negative 1. Okay, so we can't cancel those out. That doesn't make sense, because taking that off and that off is not going to balance our equation. Okay, so that's not something we want to do. Okay, so let's solve this algebraically and see what this looks like. Okay, so I don't like the negative x's, so I'm just gonna add 2 x's to this side and 2 x's to this side. And then I'm gonna get rid of this minus 1 like that. Okay, so 0 pair, 0 pair, 6 equals 4 x's. Okay, so I can divide by 4 on both sides. So I end up with x equals 6 over 4 reduces to 3 over 2, or 1.5. Okay, so this one here, so if I want to do 3 groups of 2x plus 1, I really need to show 6 x's and plus 1. But I'm going to cheat a little bit. So I'm just going to do 3 times and then draw it in like this. Okay, because at some point we can't draw every single piece. Okay, so I'm going to do it like that. And here I'm going to do 5 x's. Oh, 10 ones. That's going to be a lot of ones. Okay, so here we're going to end up with 6 x's and 3 ones. Okay, and then we're going to solve that. So this one starts getting a little bit more complicated, so we want to just really start solving these ones algebraically. Okay, so 2x plus 1 equals 5x plus 10. Okay, so I want to distribute. I want to know how many x's are on this side. So I'm going to end up with 6x plus 3. That's going to be 5x plus 10. So now we can work on getting all the x's to one side. So I'm going to take away 5 x's. Take away 5 x's. So again, this is the important part, showing your steps. Okay, showing your opposites. Okay, and showing that you're doing it on both sides to keep it balanced. 0 pair, 0 pair. I have 1x is going to equal 7 ones. So there it is. There's my solution. So for these ones here, we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to do the same thing without the balance. Make sure you're showing your steps. Okay, so first step I'm going to use is my distribution. Okay, now again, do I have to do this first? No, not necessarily. There's only one rule. That's keep it balanced. So I could have maybe subtracted 3 from both sides if I wanted to. or subtract 1 from both sides as my first step. Okay, but the important thing is keep track of your steps. So I should be able to see vertically where all the numbers are coming from. Okay, if there's nothing done to it, then that's the most important part, is that you have to keep track of everything that you didn't do. Okay, I'm going to combine like terms first. Okay, you know what? I'm going to subtract 1 and subtract 1, and then I'm going to combine like terms. So I'm going to end up with 3x. 12 plus 3 minus 1 is plus 14, and that's equal to 5x. Okay, so it looks like I want to put my 1's on the left side. So I'm going to take away 3 x's from both sides. Again, make sure you're showing all these steps. Keep track of these things. Okay, the biggest part of this is you have to make sure you do every step correctly. Okay, one mistake means the whole equation is wrong. Okay, so each individual step is not that hard, but if we do it carelessly, and if we're not taking care of showing steps, that's how we introduce mistakes, and that's how we get these wrong, and that's how we start misunderstanding some of these concepts as well. Okay, so x is equal to 7. I'm just going to circle that solution just so that's highlighted there. So there it is. So this one here, we're going to get rid of brackets again first. Again, that doesn't have to be your first step, but that seems to be the step that makes the most sense in most cases, because we really do want to see what all the pieces look like, and then we can combine things together. We can do our counting much better when we see all the individual pieces. Okay, so there's some like terms here, so make sure you understand what that minus is with the 6, not with the 3x. So I'm going to have 7x's, take away 6, that's going to be equal to 2x's plus 14. I'm going to move the x's to the left hand side, so I'm going to take away these 2 x's and balance it. I'm going to add the 6 to get my 0 pair here. Make sure you balance it. Okay, so again, the balance is important. Okay, so when I tally this up, I got 5 x's on this side, 21's on this side, divide by 5, divide by 5, and I end up with x equals 4 as my solution.